let's start with the JavaScript and tell me how many of you are familiar with the JavaScript. Have any of you have worked on the JavaScript? Okay. What about others? Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. If you don't know, you can type no as well. Yes, that's great. Many of you know this one. Okay, no problem. So we'll okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. We'll start with that. We'll see what we have to what we are going to do. Let me share my slide first of all with you. In previous session, yes, it is basically about all properties and how we can provide. So see, we are building a web page, right? If we are building a web page, in this we are using HTML5 stack. So for this, you require HTML also, you require CSS also, and you require JavaScript also. So HTML and CSS provide you the shape, structure, and the colors. So how to add some functional, how to add some colors or how to make the design. So what exactly is doing by the JavaScript? So why we are required this JavaScript and why we want it? Yes, anyone?
Ma'am, somewhere I have heard of the client-side validation. This JavaScript is used.
Yes, I agree. Okay, tell me what does it mean by client side and the server side?
Ma'am, in client-server architecture, some request
Yes,
is to be made to the server. Then we
yes,
require a program, JavaScript acts there. And when the server has to
yes,
respond something, then again there is the action of any other programming language, which is the server-side program.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
That is fine. That is represented now. We are starting with this JavaScript. So see in this, as sir has said, that it is a client side scripting language. So over here, so we are doing that. Why it is called a client side scripting? Because the script is at the user's computer and it will execute the script at the browser only. And the first step that you have mentioned, hello.php, it will go to the web server. Your PHP language, it's not client side, it's a server side. So that's why it will go to the server. It will execute the script over there, and it will produce the output over there, and it will give it to you, and then you can see the output on your screen. But this JavaScript, the script which you have written, it will execute in your browser only, in the user computer, that is in the client. That's why it is called a client side scripting language, right? So why we are using it? Because we have to create dynamic web pages into this. So client side, they are providing the benefits of the usability. That is because the execution, if you do at your system, it will be fast as compared if you are spending time to go to the server and come back again. So it can modify a page without having to post back to the server. That is a usability. And second is the efficiency. They can make small quick changes to the page without waiting for the server. And this is a event driven also, because the basic functionality which we are going to use for the website, so we have to use for the event driven. Because if you are event driven means that if there is some event is going to be happen, on the basis of that, what actions you have to take. So if the click is going to be if the click button is there and you have to click on that button, after clicking it, what is going to be there? So these kinds of events we are going to work. So these all things are perfectly work with the JavaScript, right? So these we have to see in the Java over here. But in the server side, you will see in the PHP there is more security and compatibility and the power. So these are the things which is there in the server side, but we are going to see just the client side scripting today. We are not seeing the Java server side. So actually JavaScript is a very lightweight programming language, and we can say it's a scripting language. This is we are using to make our web pages very interactive. I told you, if we are having a website and we have to make, we are going to make with the help of the HTML5 stack. That is, you are having HTML, CSS, and you are having this JavaScript over here. So HTML and CSS will provide you the basic structure of your page and how it will look, but the brain, the functionality, it will be provided by the JavaScript. So main functionality and the which I told you, that the brain is provided by the JavaScript, that how to make it and how to make more interactive, and how we can insert dynamic text into the HTML. So these kinds of things we can do with the help of the JavaScript. We'll do in the practical also. I'll show you what we are going to do. And if we want to perform some calculations on user computer also, form validation also, and any alert, pop-up box, anything which we want, right? So this is a web standard. This is supported by every browser, but latest one, everyone is supported by these JavaScript. And there is a huge difference between the Java and the JavaScript, right? So we'll not go with the difference between Java and the JavaScript, because you already know about that Java is a different language and JavaScript is a different language, right? So we'll not go with the PHP also. Let me start with another slide. Wait. Yes. Yes, let's go with this one. Now what we can do over here, so we are using with the JavaScript, we have to see how we can use it. Have you whether, okay, tell me one answer, whether we can use the JavaScript only for the web applications, for building the web application, or any other purpose also. Okay, what is the light and the heavyweight? Okay, yes, I'm telling you that lightweight and the heavyweight is about the size also. As have you heard about there is Docker? Yes, sir. Have you heard about Docker? That we are saying that it's a lightweight, where it will not take a much of size of the code, because it is in kind of compressed type. The document which you are the writing, it will not take of much size as in your computer. So that's why you can execute your code easily and very fastly. That's why we are saying it's a lightweight. And yes, I'll share my all PPTs, don't worry about that. And yes, I was, yes, Docker mainly. Have you tried Docker on internet? Because GitHub is available on the internet, but Docker you have to made it. So if you are making it Docker on your Linux platform and you are using it, that is fine. That is a very lightweight. You can use it for that. But GitHub is more popular nowadays, because everyone, even my company, is using GitHub, because there are many projects on which we are working on, and I can't keep a check of everyone, because I'm busy with my lectures also, I'm busy with the clients also, so I have to see everything, whether my team is working or not. So what I'll do, I have made an account on this GitHub, and different team with the different team. So we have made one folders over there, and at the time they have done their work, they'll upload it and I can check it anytime. So we are using much of GitHub then. But if you'll see the Docker, I have to do the setup first of all and make some changes, so that is a little bit clumsy for me. So that's why I'm saying GitHub is more good for me. But it again, you can go for the preferences, but the requirement also what you are having, right? Yes, I asked one question. Yes, ki where we can use the JavaScript other than the web designing, this web development which we are doing. Have you heard about React language? Not language. Have you heard about React? Yes, React JS, React Native, React. There are different kinds. Okay. Yes, Node.js is there. Yes. Okay. We'll not go into depth, but I'll explain you the project which my company is doing. We are building an application. This is a mobile application we are building. Earlier the mobile application we were building in the Android, and if we are going to build for the iOS, there would be, we have to do the coding differently. But now what the React has come with the solution that they are providing us the framework, and if we are using their framework, we can just code the we can just provide do the code in a single one, that they will convert it into for the iOS also and for the Android phone also. So we are doing coding for the one phone, and we are getting the application for the both. So that is the one thing, and this is React all purely based on the JavaScript. They are using every functionality of the JavaScript. So this JavaScript is very vast, and even they are using it now on the application of phone as well. You are seeing it, we are using in the application of web application also, but now we are using it in the phone. And this is the new technology which we are using in building applications, because we are not working, because the according to the requirement, because the application requirement was very vast, and everything which we have to do, that was a dynamically and with the machine learning algorithms. So that's how we came with this React language, and we are doing application in the React, and that's a very good one. And that the base of this is, again, which I told you, that is the JavaScript. So when you go comfortable with the JavaScript, when you are know the JavaScript, then you can move to the React also. That is very easy. So okay, let's start with the JavaScript. Let's start with the simple script over here. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to use the script tag over here, and you have to tell the type, right? You have to tell the type, that what is the type of your script. You can write your text slash JavaScript over here. So what we are going over here is that we are starting our script, that we are telling that we are going to use the JavaScript over here in the HTML itself only. And in this you have to specify the type also. So we are specifying the type, that our type is, our file is which you are going to insert the data is the JavaScript type, right? So we have till text slash JavaScript. And in this, if you want to display, so you have to use this document dot write. So this is the keyword which you have to use for displaying it. So first of all, I want to display this, you can see over here this horizontal line, as you can see over here. And in that, again, I want to print hello world wide web, and after that again the horizontal line, right? And we just close the script. Again, you, when you have to open the script tag, you have to close the script tag as well. So we have opened the script tag, and we have closed the script tag as well. And at the body, at the starting, we are having this h in h1 tag, we are having first JavaScript page. So when we execute it, so you can see the output over here. So as you can see the output, our output is first JavaScript page, that is the h1 tag. And after that our script has started. In this, what we are going to do, we are just printing. So for printing the normal line, you just need to write document.write, and where you are going to start, you have to tell that I'm going to start my script at the JavaScript where you are starting. So you have to write this like this. Then HR, that is horizontal line, you can see the line in the output. And then we have written hello world wide web, the, you can see the output over here. And after that we have written horizontal again, right? So when you have seen the horizontal line, so this is the output you are getting over. This is a very simple script, so that you can understand the syntax, that we are going to use the script tag also, and for displaying it we are going to use document.write. So this is a simple script. And the next is, if you are having a separate file, right? So if you're having a separate file in which your JavaScript code has written, and you want to import it and you want to use it with the HTML file, so you have to write it like this. You have to provide the source from where it is stored, you have to provide the full path, and then you are ready to go. Again, in the body I am writing script type text JavaScript, but with this we are just providing the source. There are two ways, you can embed also the JavaScript file also and its code also, but that again goes to you how you want to do it. If your JavaScript code is very long, so I'll prefer you go for a different file instead doing the work in the same file with the HTML. So we have provided with the source, that our source file .js, and we are doing in the same folder. So I'll just give the right my file name, or I have to provide the full path. Then just close the script tag over here, and everything in the source file I am having these three lines which I have to print: document.write HR, document.write hello, World Wide Web, and document.write HR again. Right? So here we are using this source attribute to include our JavaScript code that is from external file, and the included code is inserted in this place. So they will execute at this place only. So we have seen a simple script also, and we have seen if we have a different separate file how we can embed it, right? So the script which is inside in a HTML document is interpreted in the order in which they are appear as a document, and the script in a function is interpreted when the function is called, that only they will execute it. So where you place this script tag, it really matters, so place according to that, right? So there is, if you see that is your JavaScript is from incompatible or not, so you can use this no script also. Earlier we were using this no script, but now there is no much of use of this, that you have to use it. If this code is run no script, then you got to know that your browser does not support JavaScript. So for this, if you want to know if your code is not working, then you can get to know with the no script tag, and you can just type the message in it: your browser does not support this JavaScript. So if we'll write your browser, if this will execute, then we can say that actually my browser is not supporting, that's why my code is not running, right? And in this we are having many functions. We have a alert tag, we have confirm, and we have a prompt one, and there are a huge difference between three of them. So we'll see at what requirement we are having and what we have to use. So basically alert, which we are having, we are going to use as a pop-up. So alert we already know, and we have done in the attacks also. If I want to perform the this cross-site scripting attack, so we can do with the pop-up also. So like this, because a scripting attack you need to understand the scripting language, so we can just do with this alert. So when you do this alert, this is an alert method, and close the script tag, you will get the output like this. At the first, you can see over here the first one, this is an alert method. The message which you have written over here, when you execute your code, it will pop up and it will show you like this, and when you click on OK, it will go, right? So this is done with the help of alert. And another we have confirm button. So confirm, it means either you will say okay or you will say cancel. So these two buttons are inbuilt in the confirm. You can type just the message are you okay into that, so you can just type okay, either click on okay or on the cancel. So you can see in confirm what I am getting the output, and in alert what way I am getting the output, right? Again we have another thing, that is the prompt. So in prompt I just want that user should ask me that what is your name and what is your age, everything like this. So if I want to give the answer and there would be a pop-up in a form of prompt, then we can use this prompt function over here, then we are using. And in this I am asking what is your name. Now see this output, explorer user prompt, and in this you are using, and it is asking what is your name. You can just type your name and click on OK. And again, how old are you, you can type your age and just click on OK. So this is how these alert, confirm, and the prompt are functioning. Again, this is depend upon your requirement how you want it, right? And if you want to display a message in a dialog box, that dialog box will block the browser, right? So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to do this variable. We are going to create a variable, and we are going to ask from the user also. So we have used this confirm method. We have used this confirm method that you can display a message in a dialog box with two buttons, in which you are having OK or cancel. And if you return true, that is if you have click on OK, that it will return true. And if you have click on cancel, then it will return on false. And we have to store the value, because either user will say OK or cancel, then we have to store the value in a container. So if I have to store the value in a container, I need variable in which I can store. So again, as we are having variables in the C language, C++, everywhere, in every language we are having the variables. So in this we are declaring our variable with the keyword var. So var keyword is used to declare the variable, and variable name you can type anything, your name, my name. Just there are some rules in which you have to type, and the variable name is answer over here, and answer will store the value of it, right? So this is done, but for alert there is no need for that, because you will just click on the OK button for it, right? So for the prompt also, you have to display a message and allow the user to have entered the value, and the second argument is the default value that will be displayed in the input text field, and without the default value, undefined is shown in the input text field if there is like that, right? And if the user clicks on the OK button, prompt will return the value in the input text field, and it will return as a string. And if the user click on the cancel button, the prompt returns the null value over that. So this is how it is working, how prompt is working, how if you are typing the yes, it will return the value in the input text field itself and as a string, right? So this is how they are working. And identifier, this is same with the C++, every language, so we'll not go into that. And then this, so this is a program in which we are saying local variable and the global variable, but we have just used this alert button. We can just see this, we are defining the scope over here. So over here we are having this default scope, that is the window object which we are using. So x is the we have used, that is the object over here, and the value is assigned over 3. And when we have typed var, that is variable y we have created, so again it is, we are providing the value 4 over here. Now in this, what I'm going to use, this is this one, and now I have created a block to create a local scope. Now in this, I have provided the x value is 0 and the var y is equal to 1. But when I alert, when I'm clicking on this button x, when alert is doing, then x equal to, this is a plus, is the concatenation sign. When it will be printed, so it will print the x equal to x value and y equal to y value. So plus as like string, because string are combining, so for combining that we are going to use the concatenation sign. So the plus over here is the concatenation sign, right? So we can see over here the x value which they have used over here is the local one, that is the x value 0, and y value is 4 over here. Why? Because the local variable is declared using the keyword var, right? So we have declared it using the keyword var over here, and dynamic binding we have done, in which a variable can hold any type of value. So if a variable is used without being declared, the variable is created automatically, right? And if you misspell the variable name also, your program will still run, but incorrectly run, but it will run, right? And so we have numerous types of data type over here also: primitive data type, composite data type, and special data types. So in primitive data types, we are having number, that is integer and floating value. It's not like C++ language that we have to go with the different int value and the float value. There is one primitive data type, that is a basic data type, that is a number which include integer and the float as well. And another is the boolean, that either the value should be true or false, and another is the string, that is a sequence of alphanumeric characters over here, right? So we are having the sequence, the string over here, right? So we are having a string over here, and in this we are having the composite data types also. Composite in this object and the array. So we are going to use many object over here. So we can see over here a named, what is object? A named collection of data is called as object. We'll see just in a bit DOM and everything. And array, we can see over here a sequence of value, that is array we have done in Java language also, in the C++ array, the homogeneous collection of data, and in which we are defining predefined, an array is actually a predefined object. So they are having the sequence of value. And the special data types which you are going to use is the null and the undefined, right? So only the null value is the null, the only the value is null which represent the nothing over here. And undefined, the value is undefined which will to represent the value of uninitialized variable. So there is a different null, that is nothing, and undefined means that you have not initialized, you have not initialized the variable, that's why it is an undefined value. So these are the data types which we are going to use. And then now comes to strings. Now I'll show you what we are going to use in this. Wait, let me just show you first. Yes. So this is the practice which we have to do today. This is the for the JavaScript code which we are going to run. For this, what I want to do, when I click on this click me button, my content, the color should be changed into some other color. For example, I want to change it into the red color. So when I'm clicking on this click me button, you can see that its color get changed, and its color is now is red. Earlier it was black, right? So this we have to do. And the next one is that if I want to click on this change button, I want this third line, it should be the change, it should be changed. So let's click on the change button. Now you can see that my whole line is highlighted with the red color. So when I click on the change, how my third line is get highlighted with the red color. And when I click on the profile, you can see over here, you can when we click on the profile, you can see over here that my name is Jane and I am 30 years old. That should get printed when we click on. So these are on ad events. The when you are clicking on something, you want something from the output, right? So first I want to change the color. So you can do it with the help of JavaScript. What you want to change the background of only this part, we can change it. And when you click on profile, they should tell your name also, and they should tell your age also. So these things they have to do, right? So for example, in enter they are saying let's just type my name into it, and let's click on this enter. So when I do it, it will say hello Shruti. And when I'll not do it, I'll run it again for you what it say by default. And over here you can see that this is an array, this is an example of array. So we'll try to cover every example of it. So instead of apple, cheese, milk, eggs, let's add pizza, right? Everyone likes pizza, or should I add something else? Now you can see over here pizza is added, right? So this is kind of array. So all these functionality we have to do. Let me just refresh it once again, and let's come to this part. Yes, now enter. Yes, so when it is empty, so I want it should be ask the user that you have to fill out the empty field, that the pop-up should come up. Now you can see over here the pop-up should come up, and they'll say please fill out the field. So these kind of things we can do with the help of the JavaScript. And we can build some interesting games also. And even there are many games. For example, you have tic-tac-toe. In this, the structure is going, you have provided with the help of HTML and CSS, but the basic functionality, that is how dice is moving, at what time he has to stop, everything you have to provide it with the help of the JavaScript. So that is, I told you that JavaScript is the brain, right? So if the JavaScript is the brain, then that is HTML and CSS is the designing. So in JavaScript will tell what you have to do at this time, right? So this is which we have to do. Let's complete the slides first. Then we can move to the practical part. Mm, Now over here, we can see that string, which we have seen that it is a sequence of alphanumeric characters, spaces, and the special characters. And each character is represented using a 16-bit. So we can store Chinese characters in a string over here, and we can write our string in a single quote or in a double quote. And even we can use the escape characters also, /n for new line, /t for the tab. So this is same in which we are going with the other languages also. So we have a type of operator which will tells the what is the type. right? It will return a number, string, boolean, object, whatever the type of this is. So we are having its data type, so we can know what is the type of this, just like we are having in this the type of operator. And an array is internally represented as an object, so they will return as an object over here. So I was telling you that what is an object, because we are going to use the object over here very frequently. So object is a collection of properties over here. If you are using many properties, the properties can be variables, fields, or functions, methods, anything. So the object is the collection of the properties. When we are combine this, then we can say that it's an object. And there is a no class in the JavaScript. There are only objects in this. So we are going to do on the object. Now let's come to the array part. As we already know, array, what is an array? That it is a collection of homogeneous element over that. And if we want to represent an array, so if we want to create an array of n elements, so you can write var. Again, this is the variable, that is the keyword for creating the variable. Then you have to give the name of your array, that I am providing the name is the my array over here. Then equal to, then the new, this is the again with the that we are having the syntax in the Java, that we have to write the new keyword and the array, and that is the object array, and in which how many elements we are going to use, that is n, 4, 5, anything which you want. And again, for the index which we are having in the C++ and the Java language, the index of the array starts from the 0, and total we are having till n minus 1. So if we are having n elements, so the index will run from 0 to n minus 1. And it can store values of different types also, because here we are not mentioning what is the type. So the property length over here, if we use the length, it will tell the total number of elements we are having in the array. So the same we were using in the C++ and the Java. And it consists of various methods also, from which we can manipulate its element also. There are inbuilt functions, there are inbuilt methods over there, that is reverse, that you can choose from the last, and push and the concatenate. Push is the stack one, that if you want to push certain elements into it. Concatenation, if you want to combine two strings, like. So these are the various methods from which we can manipulate its string, right? Let's come to the next slide. Yes, so this is basically the array examples, in which what we are going to do, we have created an array. You can see that car is the name of the array, where we have given the name, keyword which we have used, and the new is the keyword, and array, how many I told him, the total number of elements. Now n value over here is the 3. So we are assigned at the 0 element, it should be Ford, 1 Toyota, 2 Honda, right? Now we have created an array of 3 elements with initial values. Now we can do it with the help of this function also. So first method was like that, and the second method is, even you can assign the value like this over here, right? The first, even you can create an array with the 3 elements with the initial values also. You don't need to write new array, you can just write like a list, which you are having in Python, but I'll not discuss that part. Just you have to use this square brackets, then it will get to know, okay, this is my array. If you use this bracket over here, then it will get to know this is your array. So these are the example from which we can declare it in the which we have in the JavaScript language, right? So when we are using this, an array of 3 elements, we have created tmp1, but each element is undefined because we have not provided the any value into it. And in the second array, tmp2, temporary 2, in which we are providing the initial value also. In the first 0 index, we are providing the 10 value. Second index, we are providing with the 100 value, and the third we are providing with the -3 value, right? So and they end an array of 3 elements with the initial value. So you can see over here now different type. So the first is it's we are having now the array is of containing of the different type. One, you can see over here, is the int number. The second is you are having the string, and the third is the boolean. So of different data type also you can do this. and we are going to find the array, what is the length of the array. So in tmp3 dot length, so what I'm going to do, I'm making and I'm assigning the length equal to 10 over here. So temporary, that is my array, I'm going to assign the length should be 10. So the value goes to from 3, that is from 3 variable, it is having, now the value goes to the 9 over here, right? So we can see over here also that we can provide the something like this also. At the 99 you can providing the something and you are providing the value over here. So this is way how you can access the value over here. And now we'll see null and undefined, and we will see in a bit what is the on click event, so that when we go cover the event, then you easily understand how we are using that part, right? Let's continue then. Null and undefined, we have discussed this part. Undefined is represented by the keyword undefined, and it means the value is uninitialized. And the keyword null is used to represent nothing, that declare and define a variable as a null if you want to variable the hold nothing. No, you don't want to hold it anything. So we instead of doing with the undefined, we can go with the null value. So this is the better one to do that. So type conversion will not do. Yes, the same operator as we are having the operators in the C and the other language, we are having the arithmetic operator, post, pre. So if you're having the basic knowledge of other language, this is very easy. Just we have to see the syntax, how it is working. So the arithmetic operators and the post increment comparison operator, everything we are having over here, right? And so type and the we have to check whether it's matched or whether it's not matched. So everything we have to see over here. We'll see with the logical operators also. They are having not operator, they are having and operator, they are having or operator also. Again, the symbol which you have to use is exclamation. Same is used for logical not. And operator is double ampersand sign, and this is a pipe symbol which is using for the logical or. So this is same with the other language. So we'll see, just cover in fastly, and this is the example which I have given. It will give you the value whether it's true or whether it's false, right? So it will give you the value according to that. Right now the operators, there are concatenation operator. So the plus which we are going to use is the concatenation operator, and the other operator automatically converts into the equivalent string value. And even we can use shorthand operator, plus equal to, that means a plus equal to b, that is a is equal to a plus b. So same we can apply over here. Bitwise operator we can apply. Now come to the conditional statements also. So if we want to because we have switch statement, if statement, ternary conditional statement. So as we are having in C, C++, Java, so they are in JavaScript also, the syntax of both of all these statements are similar. So there is no such thing, because in if we are providing the condition, and in else part, if condition is not true, we can move to the else part. So the ternary is used when we are having multiple of if else statement, and switch is used when you are having if else, multiple if else statement, but you have some choice, so you can go with the switch statement also. So we can apply the looping statement also. For loop over here we have, and in this we are having while loop, do while loop, break, continuous, everything we have. But foreign loop is a different for the different syntax as compared to the for in this. So let's come into this part. As you can see this, I have given the example of foreign statement. We have used for. Where is the keyword? You have typed the variable name. In which object? So in which object, in is the keyword which I am using to iterate through all the properties which they are having in the object. So for example, I am having the array object and all the values I have given. So I want to print everything. So what I'll do, I'll print one by one everything which is in the object, which is in the array, right? So variable takes the name of each property in object, and it can be used to iterate all the elements in an array object. So I hope this is clear to everyone, right? So this is the way you can add it into. See over here, var keys and the values, they are blank. Over here we have created two keys and the values, two variables, which is empty, and we have created my list array, and in the array we are having Chinese, English and Java, right? And with the my list I am adding new object, that is a new field one, and in this I have added something, right? And now I have started my for in loop, and in this var keyword and key is I'm going to the variable किसमें check करना है, in the book list में, right? And now we are checking it into the book list. Then what we are have to do, keys में क्या करना है, keys में हम एक एक करके उसमें क्या कर रहे हैं, add कर रहे हैं. एंड द वैल्यूज ऑल्सो, वैल्यूज आर एडिंग. इसमें वैल्यूज में क्या ऐड हो रहा है, बुक लिस्ट में जो उसके अंदर वैल्यू पड़ी है. In the book list there should be a my list, so there is a confusion of the name. Instead of book list there should be a my list over here, right? So in this what you have to do, either change or over here book list. So in the keys we are just printing the where value, that is a 0 1 2, right? So this is we are printing, and at the values we are going to print this value, that is inside we are having Chinese and we are having English and we are having Java. So because this is an array, so inside the array I want the value into this, right? So the counter which they have taken it, so it will give me the value over that. And the new field, because I have added into the new field also, so that's why 0 1 2, and the new field also is added into this, that's why you are getting the output like this. So this is how this is working for it. And let me first tell you because how these alert and this function, because the main part is the function over here. We have to see how the function working, because which I showed you, the main functionality which we are going to do is on the functioning. Okay, screen is not visible. Wait, let me check.
Ma'am, it's visual.
Okay, okay. It's visible. Okay, great. So let's okay, let's perform its code. We'll see how we can perform these changes into the code, then we'll come to that part, right? So I hope everyone got some idea what we are going to do. So I want the page should be like this. This is a very simple page which we are on, which we are going to perform. And in this, what I want in this, I just want when I click on this button, I should have get this in the red color, right? So I want just like this. So let's do this one, but before doing this I have showed you this one also. Yes, okay, so there would be this one. Wait, yes. So how to make the changes, we have not done the practical part of it, because in this also what we are going to do, we are going to use the JavaScript function over here. So let's just complete this practical part, then we will move to the JavaScript practical part. Let me just explain the code to you. Yes. Is it visible to everyone, or should I increase the font? I'll increase the font. Wait. Yeah. So we can see over here. So the first thing, this we have already done, that you require this header class over here, header tag over here. So we have applied the header tag. So for applying these, we'll see what we want also. Wait. In this. Yes, so in this first is we'll see the difference between these both. So in this phone number, I told you there is email address, right? So we have to change the email address into this. So we'll just open the code and we'll change the email address. Let's go into its code. And now over here, let's find out the email where it has written. It would be in the content. Yes, it would be in the section of this. And yes, now here we have find the email address. You can see over here, label for email is email address we have applied, but input type is text, because in HTML4 they are having the text. But now this thing you can do with the JavaScript also, but they have provided you in the HTML that you can just write email over here. So if it, I'll write just email and save it, and then we'll go to the browser, we'll refresh it, and again submit query. Now you can see that just applying with the text input, you can see the pop-up would come and they provide you the validation. You can't submit because you have to write it. So fff@gmail.com if I'll write. So let's say it will submit it. Yes, you can submit it over here. So it will not give you the error. So the next thing which I told you, that is the telephone number. So over here, what you need to do, just this is where you are having the input type text in the phone. You just have to change it. Here, just type TEL, that is a tel. That is, this much is the change which is required over here. And then just save it and then go to the browser. And in this, the best time, this we have not make changes. We'll see this one. Okay, yes, the location one. So we have to change this location field over here. We are not having any location field over here. So we'll add the location field. Let's go to the code and come to the location field of it. Email, phone number, yes, best time to call, and after that there would be a data set, data list which we have discussed, which we were having in this. Let me just copy this one and paste into this one. After this, best time to call. Yes, now see over here, we have choose the label for location because I want to give the location. And in this location, what I have used, name is location, and the list, because value is coming from the location. I have used the ID is the location, that's why I have given the list name is the location. And data list ID, the which we are going to use, is the location which is entered by the user. And in this, I am giving you the option value to the user. So first, the option value is the New York, and the second value is the Boston, third value is the Chicago, and the fourth value is Los Angeles, and the fifth value is the Miami, right? So we have taken this one and we have closed this P tag over here, and let's just check whether it has done the changes or not. Yes, let's just refresh it. Yes, so now you can see over here there is one field is added, that is with the location. So for example, if I want to put A, so it is not coming. So if I want to give Ambala, so it is giving me the option that you can choose this one, this one. So that's the new functionality they have added. So if I want to write Ambala, I can write it that. And if I want to, he is giving me the hint of Chicago, then I type CH, so I can select that part also. So that is done. So now what next I want this field set, that everything should be in this frame. So let's try this field set also and budget everything, and we'll add this functionality also in a bit. Let's add this functionality quickly. So let's first add the field set, and I want to write it over a legend, or the above of that I want to write it about your project, right? So let's just copy that one, and in this let's just paste it, and where it will end my field set, and after the submit button, or Wait, we have to check where it has to end. Yes, color of site. So submit would be the outside of it. After this table, where is the submit button? Yes, so over here we have to close the field set. Yes, let's save it. Let's check its functionality. Oh, sorry. So now you can see over here we are having this about, this is a field set which we have used, and in this field set we can say the name which we have given is about your project, and is this there are many functionalities. So let's add other functionality also. For the first is the budget, where we have to use the JavaScript, right? So we'll see in the what we have to do. Yes, let's come to this part. Yes, so first of all we need a budget, that is which we require, that is the label. So the label for which we have used is the budget, right? So I am using this one. First you have to include this label budget, and you have to close it, and you have to tell what it's the range, right? Because we are using that in type is the range. Input type which we are using is the range, and the name I have given it the range input. So the minimum value which I want to fix is the 0, and the maximum is the 10,000, right? So this is I have done. So for this, because I want this value should be seen, the value which you can see over here, wait, I'll show you the value. When I'll just scroll down over here, you can see the value over here also in the box also. So this is done with the help of the JavaScript. How it is done? Let's check that. But first, let's just build that button only, right? Uh, yes. So this is the label. First, let me just copy this one, and let's just paste that over here. In the field set about your project, yes, for the budget. So instead of this one, I don't want this label, this select one. Yes, so I'll just paste this one. Save it. Let's execute it. Oh, sorry, not this, this one, right? So you can see over here with this functionality what I have done. If I have not used the JavaScript, because I have not written the script tag and the script function over here, what it will going to do, it there is just one, that is the budget low to high, and there is one simple box over here. So it is not giving me the value. So for giving the dynamic value which I am choosing with the help of this button, which is in the range, so I have to perform with the help of the JavaScript. So let's try to understand this one. Now see over here, there is one event that is on change, right? So when there is some change, so when we hit on this event, which is equal to update text input, right? So what it will do, it will go to the update. Yes, let me just open that one. It will go to the function update text input. So I have created one function that is with the name of update text input. It will go into that, and it will get the value from there, right? So the value which user is updating onto that, it will get the value over there, and it will store it into on change. So when the value will store, so what I have to do, I have to display the value over here. So the value you can see over here, value is null over here. So the value is coming from this. So the value which is coming from this, it is going to be printed over here. And the function which I have used over here, because I am creating user defined function with the name, because I have written it over here, update text input. So for creating a function in the JavaScript, first you have to write the keyword, that is the function. So function keyword I have written over here, and after that the function name. So the function name is update text input, right? So this is my function name, and the value, because in this we are having the passing the parameters, that value you are getting into it. So we are having the value, and in this now what we are going to do, we have to get the element by the id. So in this we are going just like we have done document.write, document.get element. So we have like this also, get element by id. So we are providing that id of the field, and you have to get the value over there, and you have to calculate its value, right? So you have to get the value of that, and the val is stored, जो update कर रहे हैं हम उसके अंदर, when it will be called, and it will store the value into it. And see over here, we have provided the id over here, because we are assigning, we are getting the element. So see over here, input type text and the text id. So the id you have to pass, so that if the value should get printed over there. So the id you have to the match it by the value of the id. So that's why we are doing it with this, right? So as we have seen, the id is the same for this. So let me just copy this one. I hope you understand this part. Let me just copy this script tag. And let me just paste it and save it, and let's try to execute. So now you can see the value over there. So this functionality is possible only with the help of this JavaScript, which we can see over here. So the last thing which we want in this also, we want this current website start. Okay, I'll check current website, start date, number of pages, and main color of the site. Let's do quickly one by one how we can add the functionality of the current website also. So let me just go scroll down. Yes. So for this, after the table, we have to add the functionality of the current website. This is just we are adding the functionality of the current website. Let's put it after this table. Yes. In the field set, we have to do. Yes. Let's just write this code. See over here, label, we have set it current website. In this, we have just send the type URL. Earlier it was not there, so here we are just telling him the type is the URL. So when we just save it and execute this one, refresh it, now you can see the current website. So for example, if I am filling HHHH and submit the query, you can see please enter a URL. So if I write hhh.com, then I'll submitting the query. Again, it is saying it is not correct. So if I'll write www.hh.com, then submit query, again it is saying please enter a URL, because you have to type the full path, that is http:// then submit inquiry. Now your query has been submitted. So for telling the URL, so again you don't need to type the verification validation with the help of the JavaScript, just you can use this one. So the next we can see start date. For the calendar, just we have to write the calendar over here. So let's just use the calendar. So see over here, we have used this paragraph. In this paragraph, we have provided the start date and type. Now just remember the type is the important one. And when we have given the type, just save this one and let's execute. Now start date format is like this. You can change, but see how the functionality, the new HTML is providing you the functionality over here. Now when you click on that, you can just find, you can just choose the date or day, whichever you want, right? So the same will go with the another, we'll do very quickly with the another one, that is number of pages and the color, main color, that the remaining two fields are left. Let's just copy this one, and after this one, yes. So here you can see over here pages. So when I'm giving the type number, it will take it automatically 1 2 3 4. So it will can increase it. And when I given the input type is equal to color, they will give you a multiple option that you can choose it from the HTML. So let's just execute, save it, and let's go to our browser. Sorry, this one, and let's just refresh it. Now number of pages, so I'll type it manually, or I can just do with the help of this arrow button also. So you can see that when I have given the type number, this is increasing. And when I want to give the main color of site, so here you can see this HTML, this is open for me to choose the color, and which color I have choose. We can choose any color from it, and that would be done, and you can just submit your query. So that's it, that we have done with the JavaScript also. Now let's come to the part of the JavaScript as well. Let me open, because now we have to perform the functionality of this one, right? JavaScript first we'll write it in the HTML, then we'll change it into JavaScript. So start this one. Let's yes, let's start this one. Mm, yes. Now see over here. Okay, tell me, in this we are using this meta char set. Why we are using this meta tag? Why we use this meta tags? Okay. In HTML, in this head, earlier I was not showing you the meta tag, but in this we are having the meta tag. So is this necessary or not, or yes, or why we use this meta tag? Yes, tell me. Okay, so I'll explain the meta tag also, how you can use that. When we have to perform the SEO, then at time, these meta tags are very important over there, because they will provide you the information, the description, everything that is in the meta tag. But see over here, we are using, this is the important one, that we are using the character set UTF-8. That is the type of the character set. The characters which you are using, it should be globally, it should be worldwide. It's not like कि अगर मैं वेबसाइट बना रही हूँ तो सिर्फ इंडिया के अकॉर्डिंग बना रही हूँ. So it should be according to the world. अगर if anyone is seeing my website, they got to understand which special symbols and जो उनकी country में भी use, जो worldwide globally use होता है, that would be have taken. That's why we have to tell them कि character set we are using is the UTF-8, that is the global one. Either you can use the sky one also, there are many, but preferable and the usable is the UTF-8 one, right? So let's come to its JavaScript practice also. Now we can see over here, in the first, let's create the HTML part, right? So first you have to write JavaScript practice. So I have written over here the in h2 tag, that is the JavaScript practice, and in this I have given the ID, that is the title, right? Because we have to provide the ID and the class, on the basis of that we are going to perform the function. So that's why we are using this class and the ID. So in this, what you have to do, I have given the ID, that is the title, and button we are using it, that is the click me button, and we have provided the ID to the button is the BTN, right? So we have used this one over here, and after that we have used three breaks, and after that we have used four statements, and in this we have provided the class, and the class is the same for every p tag, that is the list over here. And in this I have created one button, that is the change button, and onto that I have provided the ID also. So we have to do everything with the help of the ID in the class. So button ID is btn2, the button is closed, again three breaks we have provided, and after that the button ID. So you can see over here the profile. So over here I am having the profile button, and when you click on the profile button, the ID is the profile btn. So that is the code of the html till profile, and after that I have created empty html elements. So you can see over here there are empty html elements below of this profile. Why I have created this empty html element? Because when I want to show the output, I want some space, right? I want some space on which my output will carry. So for this I have taken the two elements, two paragraph elements, the first p and the second p. So in the first p you can see the id is the box, and in the second p id is the box 2. So we have taken that we are having these id over here, and after this id, when we have done with this one, we have created empty ht element below over here. So now we can create the input type, that is we are getting the value, that is the text, and id over here I am giving it is as the user, right? And again one button which will link to it, and on the button there will be enter, and I have given the button id, that is the username. So the button will be closed, and again I have, because I have to output the value to show the value, so for that again I need empty ht element. So for that I have created with the id box 3. So the box 2, box 3 are my empty html elements. So under that there would be a grocery list, that is the array. So we have to take, so we have taken grocery list, and there would be input type text, id is the add list, and button is the add, and whose id is add. And there would be, because to show the output there would be another again empty html element box should be there. So I have created in the paragraph tag, and its id should be bx4. So box 2, box 4, box 3, they are my empty html elements. So we have, this is just your html part. Till here this is, we have just done the html part, we have not used any of this your value. So you can see over here this is just your html part which we have done over here, right? So for this we have used just id and the class, we are not providing any color. So anything which we want to do, we will do with the help of the javascript, that is the functionality which I want to provide, I'll do with the help of the javascript. Let's try that. So for this what you have to do, so the first is the script, that is we are going to change the color of the title. How? By targeting the id. So the first we have to add an event listener. Okay, so we have to add an event listener who will listen our event. So for that there would be a function with the name add event listener. So, and this would be in the camel case. So E should be the capital and L should be the capital, and this is a case sensitive. So you should have to write like this. So again, this we are getting with the document dot get element by ID. So the first you have to tell key which is the ID you have to get. So I have written BTN. Let's go to above and click me, because when you click on this button then only event can happen. So what is the id of this button? It's btn. So that is you have to pass this id btn over here, that you have to get element by id. When you click on that, उसके होने पर क्या होना चाहिए, some event has to be occur, and we have used this add event listener, and which he has to listen when we are clicking on the click button. So when we are clicking on this click button, at that moment he has to listen. So this is the name which we have used for the click, that is click button, and what he has to do. So the two things we are going to give in the add event listener. So the first thing they have to tell कि किसके click होने पर, मतलब on which they have to listen, that is the click button I have told them. And the next is the change color, that change color is the name of the function. So it will called, when we click on the click button, it will call the change color function, and whatever is written in the definition of the change color button, it will do according to that. So now let's write the function. Let's create the function. How we can create the function? We can just write the function keyword and the function name. So the function name I am using over here is the change color over. So change color. Then in this, what we are getting the element by id, as you can see. Now we have to see the text. The title किसकी हमने change करनी है. Let's go to, and the content is JavaScript practice. So I want to change the color of this line, JavaScript practice. So what is the ID of this line? ID of this line is the title, right? So the ID of this line is the title. Then we can go scroll down. So we have to provide the ID over here, that you have to make changes into this. You will get the value, then you will get the JavaScript tutorial something. Then what you have to do, when you got it, you have to go into the style, and in style you have the parameter color, right? And in that you have to store the red value. So the red will store into the color of the style of the title. So that's how when we execute it, according to the id, that's why we have provided the id, my color got changed. Let's execute this one. So when I click on this click me, that is event, then my color is changed. So this is done all with the help of this JavaScript. How? First you have to add an add event listener, and in that you are providing the two parameter on which you have to listen, first thing, and the second, what function you have to call after listening that. So you have to call the function change color after listening that, and in that what you have to do, you have to get the element by id whose id is the title, and we get the value, and in that you have to change the color. In which color? Red color. So let's change it into another color. Let's say green. Let's save it. Refresh it. Now you can see the screen green color, but when you focus it, then you can see. Let's change some color which be more visible. Red is more visible. Yellow. Let's change it to yellow. Yes, now it is more visible, as you can see over here, right? So let's change other values also. Let's try to understand how we can provide this, right? Now we can change the style of elements by the class name also. So again, we are going to use an add event listener. So in this, again, we have provided the value, that is the id by the btn2. So when you have to do it, let's go to the id btn2. So it's in the change button. So when we click on the change, then only it will happen. So that's why we have provided the id btn2. Scroll down. Then in this we have added add event listener as the same function which we have used above. And when we done on the click, so there are many add event when you click on that button or when you hover on that button. So there are many events on which you can do on the button. So you have to just write it over here, that what you want the event, whether it should be hover or whether it should be the click. So I have used the click over here. So when the button is clicked, what you have to do, you have to go to the function new style. So now function I am creating with the name of new style. In this I am going to use this for loop over here. So see this thing. Now I have used the one keyword that is a let over here. Okay. So have anyone heard about this keyword let? Yes, participants. What is let over here? Why we are using let?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So for this even we have tell that the variables which we are going to declare with the help of the var. So the second way, if you want to, yes, if you want to declare the variables, we can declare the variables with the help of the let also. And there is one other thing, one other keyword is the const. So but the difference between const and the var is, if you are providing the value in the const variable, the value should be fixed. You can't change the value if you provide it for the one time, right? So instead of writing var, we are using this for creating a variable that is let. So let is a keyword, same with the var. So we are using this for declaring it as a variable. So things is a variable over here, and in this we are getting the element by class name. So we are not getting the element by id. If you're getting the element, then you can use the function get element by id. So if you're using the function, you can just write get element by class name. That's it. So over here document dot get element by class name. So now we have to see, we have typed the list. So now see over here, here we have a different list. We have a 4 paragraph test and we have a classes with the name list. So which will be print the value. So we can make the changes on the four of the all of the line also, on one of the line also. It depend on us only. So for this we have used this for loop, and I is again the variable which I have taken it initialized index for the index value, starting from the index value 0, right? Because there are many and the things we have taken, because there are 4 lines over here. So when we go to the list, in the list we are having like an array, we are having 4 elements. This is the statement, this is the statement, this is the statement, this is the statement. So we are having 4 lines over here. So the 4 lines are stored kind of array into it, right? So we have to go to from 0 to less than length, that is 0 1 2 3. That is the indexing they have done it for. And in this what I'm going to do, the things in which they have captured the value, at that value we have given the index value 2 over here. So if I given the index value 2 over here, so only the 0 1 2, that is the third value. So the third paragraph, third line which I am having, that background color should be changed. So in the style we are having the background color, and what background color you want? Red color. So the red color is assigned to the background on which things to. Let's change it into 1. If I want this one, save it. Let's execute. And you can see now instead of third line, it is going on the second line, right? But now if I want to make the changes into all of the above, all the lines, then just I can just write I over here. So it will print for every line. So just save it and refresh it again. Now you can see over here for all the lines we are doing it. So again, depend upon your requirement, what you have to do, you can change accordingly, right? So we have done till here. Now the next element which we have to do, we are using inner HTML over here. So we are using inner HTML to display the output, and we are first getting the document, because inner element which we have not displayed. So we will display the output over here. So for that, first document we are getting the element by id. So my button, my id is profile button. So we can just scroll up and we can see that if the button of the profile is id is this over here. So we can just write it over here. So the next is add event listener, and in this, when you click on that profile button, you have to go to the display profile function. So when you will go to the display profile function, we have created this display profile. You have to display the name and you have to display its age also. So let, again we have taken one variable let with the help of the let. In this we have taken the first name as a variable, and I have stored the value also into it. So Jane is the value over here, and in this document get an element by id, that is which we have set, right? So in this, the value that is the element which is stored, the id is the box over here. So in this, what you have to do, you have to output the name, you have to display the name, display the output in this inner html. So we have given this dot inner html, that's why. So you have to assign my name is, that is the string, my name is plus first name. So the first name over here is the value, that is variable which is going to store Jane. So instead of Jane, let's store Shruti. And age, we have taken the age over here. And query, now here we are use, instead of get element by id, we are going to use just query selector over here. That works again the same, because we are getting the value. If you are using the query selector, just use hash over here, that's it, if you are having the id. That is only the difference. So it will select from the query that who is having the id box 2, and dot inner html, again I am 30 years old, so it will print the 30 over here. So let's just save it and let's go to the browser. So my name is Shruti and I am 30 years old, so you can see over here. So let's complete this one quickly. So if you want to add dynamic content, just like I told you, when you click on the other button and you want the value, if the value should be empty, then it will show the pop-up box, that is with the help of the alert, and otherwise it would print the hello Shruti or the name which you are providing in that button. So again we have created this let we have used this keyword let, and we have created variable name get element by id with the user. And in this, what we are going to do, element हम ले रहे हैं user name से, that is id. And when you are clicking on that, you have to go to the greeting function. So when you go to this greeting function, so if there should be value in the name, the value should be no, there is nothing, the value should be empty, then alert please fill out the empty field, and else otherwise hello plus value which is inserted by the user. So let's check it out. First enter, then you can please fill out the empty value, or if I'll say Shruti, so it will say hello Shruti, like this, right? And the last, that is the array. So this is the array which we have implemented. Again get element, we are storing element in the item, and we are getting element by the id, that is add is my id, and when you click on that button it will call the add item, this function. So in this we have taken an array. So the grocery list over here is the array. Apples, cheese, milk, eggs are already stored into it, and we have converted into, for display, converted into string also. And for box 4 we are going to use as inner html to enter the element, to display the elements of all, right? So we have used for that. So this is the function add item, and we are using push function over here. So in the stack we were having the push function, so just we were using the push function, and we are adding this new item which is going to be stored, the value of the going to be stored in the new item variable. So and we are again converted into string, and we are just displaying it. That's it. So if I don't write this value over here, see this one. So I have just make this last line comment. So if I make this last line comment, what will happen? Let's go to the browser, let's refresh it. So see over here, apple, cheese, milk, eggs. Again we'll add pizza. Now click on add button. Now add, this is list is created, this array is created, but pizza, this is not get cleaned, right? I don't want that the value should be remain in inside of this box. So if you want the value should not be remain inside of this box, so the item dot value, just give it a blank value over this. So when you save it again, when you execute it, just again, and this again pizza. It's not like that I love pizza that much, it's just that I don't find anyone, right? Yeah, from jokes apart, this is the session for the JavaScript. I hope till this here everyone got some idea about the JavaScript, right?